Jeez. Plug it in. Okay, beautiful people. Top of the day, top of the day. Alright, had to get my cord here. My laptop was dead. It was upstairs, went down. Thought I had it charged, but apparently not. Alright, give it a second, y'all. Top of the day, everybody. Greetings, greetings. Betwabu, betwabu. Hope you guys got some good rest yesterday. I did. Okay. Oh, there it is. That's Wabu, Trina. Hey, girl, hey. Let me get some, yep. Close. All right, y'all. It was an interesting way to awake Uncle Nathaniel. I awake like that most mornings. I just don't share a lot of that stuff with y'all, but I have a dream folder. I use Evernote. Evernote is like it's a notepad on your iPhone. Well, I guess anybody can use it. Don't matter if you have Android, iPhone, you got a laptop, you can download it on a computer. But I find it to be very helpful for me with all my dreams and some of the stuff that I save and how to organize it. My thing is full of dreams from this year, previous years, and I'm able to label them, group them, and I always start them with the date, so it's easy to find stuff. I started with a date and a title, so it's easy to kind of just put it in my search engine and pull up the dream, whether it's from 2014 or 2020, 2018. I love that app. But yeah, most mornings I do awake like that, where I hear stuff. That started when I was younger too. Okay. And I used to think, because my mom used to talk about, she would wake up hearing a word. I'm like, oh, that's pretty interesting, but that was when I was younger. Until it started happening to me, it became more than interesting. So I started keeping notes and keeping notes about what I was hearing. And what would blow me away is when what I was hearing, I would actually see it take place in the physical world, So, like when I say I hear something, how people say I heard something in the spirit? No, I'm not talking about I heard it in the spirit. Like I hear it with my physical ears, Sometimes that don't go over too well with some people. Like, you hearing stuff. Girl, you crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I know what I hear. I hear it with my physical ears, but I can tell it comes from another realm. So that's freaky enough, but I've grown used to it. So, but okay. I'll tell y'all about that. We're going to do the reading today before I get to talking about it. I'll go over it with you so you can actually hear it from my voice. All right, y'all. So happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Betwabu, Sawabona, Siami. Good morning. Today it is Sunday, October the 25th, 2020, day 284 of year 2 of reading through the books of the Law and the Prophets, also known as the Old Testament. This is day 648 of the 2-year consecutive day count. All right, y'all. So, what is on the 7 verses? Hold on. Today we're going to read 67, 68, and yeah, we're just going to do this thing. No, we'll do 70 because 70 is like 5 verses. I was about to say we're just going to do the 3. But we'll do it since 67 and 70 can probably total a whole chapter. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get started. Psalm chapter 67. Betwabu Tale, Betwabu. Okay. All right. Psalm chapter 67. May Yahuwah be merciful and bless us. May his face smile with favor on us. May your ways be known throughout the earth, your saving power among people everywhere. May the nations praise you, O Yahuwah. Yes, may all the nations praise you. Let the whole world sing for joy, because you govern the nations with justice and guide the people of the whole world. May the nations praise you, O Yahuwah. Yes, may all the nations praise you. Then the earth will yield its harvest, and Yahuwah, our God, will richly bless us. Yes, Yahuwah will bless us, and people all over the world will fear him. Psalm chapter 68. Rise up, O Yahuwah, and scatter your enemies. Let those who hate Yahuwah run for their lives. Blow them away like smoke. Melt them like wax in a fire. Let the wicked perish in the presence of Yahuwah, but let the godly rejoice. Let them be glad in Yahuwah's presence. Let them be filled with joy. Sing praises to Yahuwah and to his name. Sing loud praises to him who rides the clouds. His name is Yahuwah. Rejoice in his presence. Father to the fatherless, defender of the widows, this is Yahuwah, whose dwelling is holy. Yahuwah places the lonely in families. He sets the prisoners free and gives them joy. But he makes the rebellious live in a sun-scorched land. That brings a whole other light to something, but I ain't going to get into that. I'm going to need to come back to this and look at that. Verse 7. O Yahuwah, you led your people out from Egypt when you marched through the dry wasteland. The earth trembled and the heavens poured down rain before you, the God of Sinai, before Yahuwah, the God of Israel. You sent abundant rain, O Yahuwah, to refresh the weary land. There your people finally settled, and with a bountiful harvest, O Yahuwah, you provided for your needy people. Yahuwah gives the word, and a great army brings the good news. Enemy kings and their armies flee, while the women of Israel divide the plunder. Even those who lived among the sheepfolds found treasures, doves with wings of silver and feathers of gold. The Almighty scattered the enemy kings like a blowing snowstorm on Mount Zalmon. The mountains of Bashan are majestic, with many peaks stretching into the sky. Why do you look down with envy, O rugged mountains, at Mount Zion, where Yahuwah has chosen to live? At Mount Zion, where Yahuwah has chosen to live, where Yahuwah himself will live forever. Surrounded by unnumbered thousands of chariots, Yahuwah came from Mount Sinai into his sanctuary. When you ascended to the heights, you led a crowd of captives. You received gifts from the people, even from those who rebelled against you. Now Yahuwah will live among us there. Praise Yahuwah, our Savior. For each day he carries us in his arms. Our God is a God who saves. The sovereign Lord rescues us from death. But Yahuwah will smash the heads of his enemies, crushing the skulls of those who love their guilty ways. Yahuwah says, I will bring my enemies down from Bashan. I will bring them up from the depths of the sea. You, my people, will wash your feet in their blood, and even your dogs will get their share. Your procession has come into view, O Yahuwah, the procession of my God and King as he goes into the sanctuary. Singers are in front, musicians behind. Between them are young women playing tambourines. Praise Yahuwah, all you people of Israel. Praise Yahuwah, the source of Israel's life. Look, the little tribe of Benjamin leads the way. Then comes a great throng of rulers from Judah, and all the rulers of Zebulun and Naphtali. Summon your might, O Yahuwah. Display your power, O Yahuwah, as you have in the past. The kings of the earth are bringing tribute to your temple in Jerusalem. Rebuke these enemy nations, these wild animals lurking in the reeds, this herd of bulls among the weaker calves. Make them bring bars of silver in humble tribute. Scatter the nations that delight in war. Let Egypt come with gifts of precious metals. Let Ethiopia bring tribute to Yahuwah. Sing to Yahuwah, you kingdoms of the earth. Sing praises to Yahuwah. Sing to the one who rides across the ancient heavens, his mighty voice thundering from the sky. Tell everyone about Yahuwah's power. His majesty shines down on Israel. His strength is mighty in the heavens. Yahuwah is awesome in his sanctuary. The God of Israel gives power and strength to his people. praise be to Yahuwah. Psalm chapter 69. Save me, O Yahuwah, for the flood waters are up to my neck. Deeper and deeper I sink into the mire. I cannot find a foothold. I am in deep water, and the floods overwhelm me. I am exhausted from crying for help. My throat is parched. My eyes are swollen with weeping, waiting for my God to help me. Those who hate me without cause outnumber the hairs on my head. Many enemies try to destroy me with lies, demanding that I give back what I didn't steal. Oh God, you know how foolish I am. My sins cannot be hidden from you. Don't let those who trust in you be ashamed because of me. O sovereign Yahuwah, God of heaven's armies, don't let me cause them to be humiliated, O God of Israel. For I endure insults for your sake. Humiliation is written all over my face. Even my own brothers pretend they don't know me. They treat me like a stranger. Passion for your house has consumed me, and the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. When I weep and fast, they scoff at me. When I dress in burlap to show sorrow, they make fun of me. I am the favorite topic of town gossip, and all the drunks sing about me. But I keep praying to you, O Yahuwah, hoping this time you will show me favor. In your unfailing love, O Yahuwah, answer my prayer with your sure salvation. Rescue me from the mud. Don't let me sink any deeper. Save me from those who hate me and pull me from these deep waters. Don't let the floods overwhelm me, or the deep waters swallow me, or the pit of death devour me. Answer my prayers, O Yahuwah, for your unfailing love is wonderful. Take care of me, for your mercy is so plentiful. Don't hide from your servant. Answer me quickly, for I am in deep trouble. Come and redeem me. Free me from my enemies. You know of my shame, scorn, and disgrace. You see all that my enemies are doing. Their insults have broken my heart, and I am in despair. If only one person would show some pity, if only one would turn and comfort me, but instead they give me poison for food. They offer me sour wine for my thirst. Let the bountiful table set before them become a snare, and their prosperity become a trap. Let their eyes go blind so they cannot see, and make their bodies shake continually. Pour out your fury on them. Consume them with your burning anger. Let their homes become desolate and their tents be deserted. To the one you have punished, they add insult to injury. They add to the pain of those you have hurt. Pile their sins up high. Don't let them go free. Erase their names from the book of life. Don't let them be counted among the righteous. I am suffering in pain. Rescue me, O Yahuwah, by your saving power. Then I will praise Yah's name with singing, and I will honor him with thanksgiving. For this will please Yahuwah more than sacrificing cattle, more than presenting a bull with its horns and hooves. The humble will seek their God at work and be glad. Let all those who seek Yahuwah's help be encouraged. For Yahuwah hears the cries of the needy. He does not despise his imprisoned people. Praise him, O heaven and earth, the seas and all that move in them. For Yahuwah will save Jerusalem and rebuild the towns of Judah. His people will live there and settle in their own land. The descendants of those who obey him will inherit the land, and those who love him will live there in safety. Last chapter for today, y'all. Psalm chapter 70. It is 5 verses. Please, Yahuwah, rescue me. Come quickly, Yahuwah, and help me. May those who try to kill me be humiliated and be put to shame. May those who take delight in my trouble be turned back in disgrace. Let them be horrified by their shame, for they said, Aha, we've got him now. But may all those who search for you be filled with joy and gladness in you. May those who love your salvation repeatedly shout, Yahuwah is great. But as for me, I am poor and needy. Please hurry to my aid, O Yahuwah. You are my helper and my savior. O Yahuwah, do not delay. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was Psalm 67, 68, 69, and 70. We did 4. Remember, guys, sometimes we may do 5. Let me fix this thing in my head. We may do 5. It just depends on how short the The chapters are in Psalms. Some are extremely long, like 119, and some are extremely short, like I think 117, which is like 2 verses, right? And they go in between. So depending on how short or long they are, if they're extremely long, we'll stick with our 3 for the day. But if they're extremely short, we may be able to fit in like 5 or 6 of them and still be done in 10 minutes, So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the reading for today. Let me go ahead and do my closing, and I tell y'all, I go into a little bit deeper detail because that's not all what I heard either. Because after I heard what I heard, I immediately fell back to sleep and I went into a dream. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Numbers chapter 6, where the blessing is found, and also the Nazarite found. This thing moves so fast. I be skipping across it. Okay, y'all. Numbers chapter 6. Y'all remember verses 1 through 21 is the Nazarite vow. And the blessing is found starting at verse 22 all the way down to 27. Oh, let me do my recap. I did that. I said, okay, we're at Psalm 67, 68, 69, and 70. It is October 25th, 2020. Day 284 of year 2 of reading through the books of the law and prophets. And of the 2-year consecutive day count, day 648. Now we'll do the blessing. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, said, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. All right, so let me just start afresh. I saw some of y'all may have actually read my post. I wasn't going to post it, but I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna post this one, simply because of what's going on. And this is not like the only thing. Like, I have a lot of dreams about the current president. I mean, even before the elections and all that stuff came back up, I just keep track of them, and look at things that's going on. And a lot of times it seems that my dreams are contrary to what the going prophecies in the church are, which is why a lot of times I haven't shared them, but the more I look at it, I'm like, Father, I know I hear from you. I say, but all these other prophets and stuff, they're saying this. I'm just like, I don't get it. Until I begin to understand. I'm not saying that everything that, you're not saying that those prophets are wrong, not saying that, but it was something that I personally was dealing with because the words that I get are contrary to the mass prophecies that you hear coming out, until I realized, I listened to the post about the fasting too. About the fasting. Which one are you talking about, Tylane? About the fasting. Just make a post. I'll come back to it. But y'all remember in previous posts, I tell y'all the book of Daniel is my book, right? So I've learned a lot of wisdom from the book of Daniel because I'm like, wait a minute, it's like a lot of stuff I experienced just like that with like Daniel, right? So I'm like, okay. But also you have to realize, even with going through some of the books in the Old Testament, like the Kings and Samuel and some of the others where you see, and even with Elijah, the prophet Elijah, you would have the guild of prophets or the band of prophets who are surrounding the king, giving the king like this consistent word. And then you have this one lone prophet, not saying that I'm that, but I'm looking at all this stuff and I couldn't understand why mine would be contrary to what the major prophets and stuff, the major prophets would be saying. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna keep this to myself. I keep writing it down in my folder and stuff. And I share it with family though. I share like with my mom, especially my mom and my sister Alicia, right? And my husband. So, but I just kind of keep them to myself. But when something happened, they be like, hey, did you see this? I'm like, oh, snap. I was like, that happened. So that's why I keep track of them. But I felt like, let me go ahead and share this one. Like, I had typed it out, then I was like, yeah, copy, and I just put it in my in a separate. I was like, no, I ain't gonna share it. Like, I really struggled this morning with actually sharing that, But I'm like, Father, I feel like I should share it, but I don't know. I was like, but if I put something out here like this, what if like the FBI come knocking at my door or something, you know? So that's why I put the disclaimer. I'm like, listen, I am in no way, shape, or form making any kind of threats to the president. And you guys would know. I mean, we know that. I mean, y'all guys up here long enough to know. Sometimes I share my dreams and they, you know, they seem kind of like, I don't know that I would tell anybody that, Pam. You know, so, but that's why I put that little disclaimer down there. So, okay, so when I woke up this morning, and let me just, for those that don't know, okay, so when I wake up from time to time, and I explained this a little bit at the beginning too, when I wake up from time to time, and I would say more often than not, these last 3 years, I've been hearing stuff when I wake up. Not like, oh, because the TV on, or maybe you watch something before you went to sleep. Like I hear with my physical ears, like y'all can hear me with y'all physical ears, hear me talking now. It's like I hear somebody standing by my bed, and a couple times I woke up, I actually saw people walking past, not people, well, like 3 people, but it wasn't this realm. It was the spirit. Let's just, for sake of explanation, the spiritual realm. It's like I was seeing into another realm, but they were looking at me and they were talking about me. You know, they were this is separate from this, but this happened like probably about 2 months ago now. They were walking past my bed and I opened my eyes. I saw them. You know how you like, okay, y'all know how y'all sleep and then y'all waking up, but y'all in between that sleep state and actual being 100% woke state. It's like right there when all that happened. It's like I'm transitioning from sleep to an awakened state, but it's still happening. It's like I seen them walking past my bed, looking at me, and they were talking about me, and they were saying, is this one of the ones who would be, but the next thing they said, I couldn't hear because it faded out. So it was like they were walking past me, but it wasn't only me. It was like they were walking past me like they were examining me. But I knew that they were also examining a few other people because of what he said. Is this one of the ones? You know, like I'm a group of the ones that they're examining walking by. Is this one of the ones who would be? And like I said, I didn't hear the rest of what was said, but I saw them, right? So I ain't tripping. I know some people, they be ready to put people in the crazy folks home and stuff, but I'm telling y'all, anybody who's spiritual, who has dreams, maybe have visions, or who have that gift, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So I ain't crazy. Y'all know I ain't crazy. But anyway, so that happens, and it's been happening a lot the last 3 years as Yahuwah has been revealing different things and showing me stuff, right? So when I'm waking up, I can clearly hear with my ears what is being said in another realm. You know, it's pretty cool and it's pretty freaky at the same time. But every time I hear something, because I got to test what I hear, right? You know, so I take it, I wake up, you know, and I'll think about it. Sometimes I may understand what it means right then. Sometimes not so quick. You know, there's other information that I need to, there's other information that I need to take in and know about to actually bring it all together. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about, Thailand, the one from, what I posted. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but he has a lot of wisdom. Just side note to Thailand, he has a lot of wisdom on fasting and stuff. And because I'm doing more of it, I'm learning how to not so much fast spiritually, but, you know, just make sure I'm fasting appropriately and making it like a lifestyle, you know, not just for health, but also for spiritual reasons as well. Because I noticed while fasting, my spiritual life like ramps up multiple levels. And it's like you become really in tune, not with just the physical world, but the spiritual world as well. So that was a side note for Thailand. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So that happens more and more. Okay, so back to this morning. So as I was waking up, I opened my eyes and it was like 5:25. Because like after I heard it, I looked at the clock. So I heard it and I heard, and this is what it sounded like. I heard, this is exactly what it said. It said, listen up, people. Donald Trump is dead, is dead. Donald Trump is dead, is dead. And it sounded just like that. It sounded like a message that was being heralded. You know, so what really got my attention is said, listen up, people. Now, I know I was the only one in my house that heard that. but I'm wondering about the people who this is being addressed to. So right now I'm thinking that I am not the only one who may have heard that, because it says, listen up, people. So I'm almost 100% sure that people across the world, wherever they may be, and I want to say specifically to Israel, the bloodborn, is other people who heard that same message that I heard this morning. I won't know for sure until I start seeing people post stuff. And I don't know. I'm going to be looking for it. So I don't know. Some may post, some may not. But it said, listen up, people. I don't know. Or it could be a message where I post where people are seeing what I post, those people. I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. But it said, listen up, people. Donald Trump is dead, is dead. Donald Trump is dead, is dead. Now, if you know anything about scripture, when Yahuwah gives a message, when it's repeated twice, it means, listen, pay attention, because what I just told you is really important. Now, I'm not saying that the president is going to die, right? That is not what I'm saying. I'm simply relaying what I heard and how I heard it. And it immediately reminded me, first of all, things that are repeated twice, it means it's very important. Pay attention. But it also sounded like the message, if you ever read the book of Revelation, in Revelation chapter 14, verse 8, and Revelation chapter 18, verse 2, where it says, it reminded me because it was phrased just like that. You will find in those two sections of Revelation, Revelation 14 and 8 and Revelation 18 and 2, you will see it says, Babylon is fallen, is fallen. Babylon is fallen, is falling. It was heralded just like that. So I'm like, I wonder what this signifies. Now, I'm going to just put this here, like that may not mean a physical death, but it very well could mean a physical death. But it could mean a death of the current office, rule and reign, whatever is going on with this particular person, right? So I put that there like that. But so after I heard that, I immediately fell back to sleep. Like, I immediately fell back to sleep, and I went into this dream. And I think this dream, I definitely know that this dream has something to do with what I heard while I was woke, that I heard with my physical ears, right? So, but some of it doesn't make sense, but I'll share it with you. So, some of it seems a little random, but in other places it seems really specific. Okay, so when I fell back to sleep after I heard, listen up, people, Donald Trump is dead, is dead. Donald Trump is dead, is dead. I fell back to sleep. And so the dream started where I was in this place, and I asked my sister Alicia, she probably still up here watching, I know she at work, but I asked her, I said, hey, did you hear that Donald Trump is dead? And she said, yes, I'm trying to see the body, but they got it covered up. You know, and so when she said that, I kind of looked and I saw a body that was covered up, right? And so the body was covered up, laying on the ground with this white sheet, and I could see it was covered up completely, but I could see kind of hanging out. Well, it wasn't hanging out. It was covered up completely, but I could see under the cover that it was covered with. And what I could see was I could see a pant leg, and it had on like gray slacks. You know, men who dress in suits or dress casually, you know, they got on they casual dress shoes or whatever, and it had on gray slacks. I saw one leg, and it was the, okay, if I'm facing it, it would be the left side of the body. So I saw the left leg. Yeah, okay, standing this way. Okay, it was the left side of the body that I saw. I saw the left leg, and I saw the left arm, and the left arm was kind of laying on top of the leg, but like straddled on the leg on the ground. And on the arm, I saw a wedding ring on the hand. You know, now just by looking at this, I couldn't tell if it was the president or not. Couldn't tell if it was a white man or a black man because it was covered up. It was a pant, you know, the pants and the shoes and the sock. It was covered, so I couldn't see any kind of skin at all. Okay, hold on, baby girl. Sit it up there. Figure out which one is yours. So I couldn't tell who it was. So after that, I saw that, and then I went to call my mom. I said, Mom, I said, did you hear that Donald Trump is dead? But while I was talking to her on the phone, she appeared right in front of me. It was like I woke her up out of her sleep, and she was standing there in her nightgown, and she said, "What?" I said, "Did you hear that Donald Trump is dead?" I was saying what I was saying, but the message that was coming through to her was scrambled, and she was repeating back to me what I said, but what she repeated back to me was not what I said. So the line, as I was trying to tell her, it was getting jumbled up, and she couldn't understand what I'm saying. And I said it to her the third time. I said, "Did you hear that Donald?" And I could tell that she couldn't understand. I knew there was some kind of scrambling through the message, and she wasn't hearing what I was actually saying. I said, "Did you hear that Donald Trump is dead?" And she said, "Did I hear something?" And I don't know what she was saying, but I know it wasn't what I was saying to her. So I was like, okay, she's not getting it. Not that she wasn't getting it, but it was being scrambled, so she couldn't get what I was trying to say to her. So I went back over, and I was looking at the dead body, and it was still covered up. And by this time, when I came back, there was a crowd that had gathered, not a big crowd, maybe like a handful of people, no more than 10 people was standing there, and it was kind of like one guy standing out front. And when I was looking this time, I looked, and I didn't see that one dead body. I saw two bodies under there, but neither one of them were dead. It was like the same body that I saw the first time. But now, as I uncovered the body, the second body that I saw for a quick second disappeared. And now it was somebody laying there that we went to high school with. And that's why I said, now some of it seems kind of random. So this is the part that seemed random to me, but I know it's not random, as I know it won't be as I begin to understand it, So it was a black guy that we went to high school with, light-skinned black guy, and he was laying there on the ground. And the guy that was standing in the crowd, he said, "Do you want us to get you help?" And he said, "No, just let me lay here and die." And I noticed when he said that, I noticed that his body had been shot up and blood was coming from his mouth. And I looked at what he had on, and I noticed it wasn't the gray slacks. So the second body that disappeared must have been the person that had on the gray slacks, because he had on dark blue jeans and a red and black hoodie. It was mostly black, but with red embroidery. It was red embroidery around the hood of the hoodie. It was red embroidery, whatever this logo was that was on the chest. I don't remember what that was. And it was red embroidery going around like the cuff of the sleeve and everything. So, and I'm thinking, what happened to the gray slacks? I said, I know I saw a dead body with gray slacks. What happened to that body? But I noticed that body disappeared. So I went to go get help for the black guy that we went to high school with, who was laying there. He was literally like choking on his blood. He was like, "No, just let me die." He had like a smile on his face, and I couldn't understand. He had a smile on his face like, "No, just let me die." It was almost like, "Just let me die, because being here is too much and I'm ready to go." That was kind of like the laugh he had on his face. So I went, and there was like a doctor's office that appeared right there beside the dead body. And I went in there, and there was a doctor in there that was finishing up surgery. And what appeared in my hand was a pad that had soaked up blood from this man's mouth. Like, I didn't lay down and soak up the blood, but I knew that's what this pad had come from. Somebody had soaked up blood from this man's mouth, and I had it in my hand. And I took it, and I said, "Can you help him? He's laying out there bleeding to death now." Now, she was just finishing up a surgery. Now, what was crazy was she had just finished up a surgery, but it looked like it was round. It's crazy. That's why I say this kind of seems random too. She had just finished performing surgery on what seemed like a round globe or a beach ball, but it was wrapped up in newspaper. And she was like, "That's good right there. We're done with this." And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, "Okay, can you help this man? He's out here. He's bleeding to death." She said, "Yeah, I can help him." But as she said that, I knew she was a surgeon, but she was more of I knew she was more of a dental surgeon. Like I said, some of it seemed random, but I know it's not. I just haven't put it together yet. So she went out there, and she said, "Yeah, I can help." She said, "Help me get him back in here," which meant into her office. So she grabbed the head of the stretcher that he was now laying on, and somebody from the crowd came to the other side to help her roll him in, and that was it. That was the end of the dream. So when I woke up, I'm like, how how random is this? But not really random, because it kind of lined up a little bit with what I heard with my physical ears while I was woke in the dream. I was asking them, did you hear what I heard? But what's crazy was I was actually woke, like today, like is October 25th, Sunday. I heard it while I was woke, but I went into the dream and now I dreamt. So as I put this together and interpret this over the next couple of days, I will update you guys on the interpretation that I get, because I don't know if it's going to take a couple of days. Well, we'll know for certain if something is X'd out here during the election. So if the election comes and the president is reelected, okay, so let's X out well, we can't necessarily X it out because he will still be in office, and if he's reelected, it could mean that his second term will end early, or it could be a physical death. So it's different things like that I'm watching for. Because like I told you, the other dream that I had about him, that he was killed on the top of a flight deck, and somebody inside of his office, his current cabinet, did. And remember, I gave y'all the interpretation about that a few days ago with that particular dream, right? So, yeah, so that was it, y'all. So that's what I heard, and this is a dream that I went into right after I heard that with my physical ears. Mom. From another realm this morning. Mom. So as I look into it, yes, Pooh.
This one mine.
Yes, that one is yours. So I'm gonna go back. I normally go through and keep going word for word, and sometimes other things stick out to me that didn't originally stick out to me, and I'll be able to put things together. So when I do, I'll share with you. And that's it, y'all. I don't really have anything else. I mean, that was it. So I know I posted that, so I wanted to share so you can actually get the context on how I heard it and how it was said when I heard it this morning. It was literally like a message being heralded. Listen up, people. Donald Trump is dead. Donald Trump is dead. And it was said like that. It wasn't like screaming or anything. It's just like if you were standing at a microphone. Listen up, people. Donald Trump is dead. Donald Trump is dead. So it's just like that. So I don't know. This video may get flagged and it may get taken down simply because of what I said. But you heard it live. You heard it here from me. I just wanted to share it to you. Share it with you. So I don't know. I'm sure you guys will be keeping a lookout just like I will be, So, but like I said, it goes against like all the other prophecies that all the other prophets are saying. They're saying, no, God put him in office. And I don't doubt that one bit, because Yahuwah says he rules in the kingdom of men. Yahuwah creates good and he creates evil. He is directly behind every person who sits in power, whether they're good or whether they're evil, because it helps to bring a balance to whatever situation. Not that evil is good, but it's how Yahuwah creates the balance here on the earth, if y'all understand what I'm saying. So I don't know. We watch and see, right? So like I said, if I get any, and I'm sure I will, but I'll share it with you, So with that being said, y'all, that's it. I'm done for today. If y'all ain't got enough for me, we out, people. I see you, because kids are hearing in the background. They already starting to get loud. So with that being said, I see you tomorrow, bright and early, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, if it's not the Sabbath, we rest a little bit later, and we come on at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, beautiful people. I love you. See you in the morning. Peace.